Hello everyone. This is part one of a larger tutorial that I'm going to be doing on Google Forms and how to use them for evaluations. But I thought that before I start doing the tutorials on extensions, that I wanted to show you guys how you can grade effectively using Google Form for a quiz or a test, or really any other kind of assignment, and how to do that for questions beyond simply multiple choice or drop down. So first of all, you want to create the form in your Google Drive. So if I go here, I go to More, I click on Google Forms, and I've made a sample test. So you can see that right here. And if I go to my sample test, and I addressed this in my earlier tutorial about forms, but I didn't go into as much depth. I just talked about multiple choice options and drop-down options. However, what I want to do if I want to integrate my Google Forms into my grades for Classroom is that I want to go to Settings, and if I go to Quizzes, I want to make sure that this is a quiz. Then down here at the bottom, I do not want this grade to be released immediately after each submission. I want to have that grade be released later after manual review. And the reason why I might want that for a quiz, if you have a quiz that is just multiple choice or drop down where you can choose the correct answers, then you could have it released immediately if you wanted to. However, if you are going to have quiz questions where you want to give students feedback as to why they received a particular grade, and you're going to have questions that go beyond multiple choice or drop down, so if you have short answer or something like that, then you want this option selected because that will allow you to grade those short answer questions, which Google Forms cannot because it's looking for something to be perfectly right. And for a short answer question, you're not generally going to have something that is perfectly right. And by perfect, I mean even spelling errors. So I want to make sure that I have this set to later after manual review. Now you can see in the test that I've made, I have two multiple choice questions, which I've said are worth 1 point each. And what I need to do when I'm setting these questions up, so I create a question with this, and then when I press the, when I choose the option to create this as a quiz, then what I'll see in here is that I have this answer key button. If I press on this for multiple choice, I can choose which one is the correct answer and how much that is worth. And then I press done. And again, you want to make sure you have all these questions be required. So I have that for question 1 and for question 2. So my correct answer for question 1 is option 2. My correct answer for question 2 is option 3. But I've also added some short answer questions down here. Now for this answer key, I made this worth 4 points. However, I can't select a correct answer for this because it would need to be exact. So if you have something where you do have an exact answer that you want them to put, then this might work for you. But other than that, it's not going to work if you're having them do a question where they have some sort of a critical thinking that they need to do, and they're going to have individualized answers. So I need to leave those without a score there. Now, what I want to do is I've created a test classroom that I've added the high school account as a student to. So what I want to do is press create, click on assignment. I want to add the form that I just created, so test 1, to this assignment. And I'm going to call this test 1. And you'll see this option down here that says grade importing. I want that to be selected, because then what I can do is once I've graded them in Google Forms, I can import those into Google Classroom and not have to manually put them in. And I can set a point value. Now the point value for that test was 10 points, but when I import the grades, Google's going to set that to 10 points anyway because it's going to get that score from the Google Forms. So let's say I set this due date today at, let's say, 3 p.m. Okay? And I'm going to assign this. Once I assign this, from the student's perspective, now if they go to here and they go to their stream, they're going to see that I added a new assignment, just right here. And so they'll click on this assignment, and they'll see the test right here. When they open this test, they can complete their answers. I don't remember what I put as the correct answers, but I'll just say option 2, option 2. And then they're going to write what the answer is to the short answer questions down here. So let's say I put example 1 and example 2. When I submit that, it's going to say I can open my assignment. That's just going to send me back to the assignment in Google Classroom. But because I selected that the scores aren't received by the students until I manually go through them, then they're not going to see their score immediately right here. But that allows you to grade those short answer questions that Google Forms can't grade itself. So now, if I go back to my teacher account, so you can see this is my account, if I open this form, when I go in here, bottom right hand corner, I can click on the little edit button. And now I can see my responses. So if I go in here, I can go to individual. And you'll notice right here it says score not released. So as soon as I grade this, I can release that score. So if I scroll down through this response from high school, I got question 1 right, it's worth 1 point, so you can see I got 1 out of 1. Then I have question 2 that I got wrong, so that's 0 out of 1. And then down here you'll notice that I didn't get the correct answer, so it didn't put a grade in here. This is where you can grade these. So let's say that I give this a 2 out of 4, and I give this a 3 out of 4. What you can also do is enter feedback to describe to the student why you gave them that grade. So I'm just going to say feedback 1 for this one, and feedback 2, just so I can show you what that looks like from the student's perspective. So I save that, and down here it says edits are pending, so I press save on the bottom. And now that I've graded this, I can release the score to the student. Now I can release the score now if I want to, or I can release this score after I have added it to Classroom. But just while we're on this page, if I release the score, it's going to ask me if I want to release all of the scores, if you've graded everybody, or if I just want to release one of them. Now I only have one student in this class, which is why both of these are selected. But let's say that I send emails and release. This is going to send their scores back to them. So I press send. Now, when I go to my Gmail for the school account, I'm going to see what that looks like. So this would be the student going to their Gmail account. And when they open that, you're going to see here, score release test 1. And if I open that, it's going to say that I got a 6 out of 10. And if they view that, they're going to see that breakdown. So I got question 1 wrong, I got question 2 wrong. Now it says that I got question 3 and 4 wrong, but that's just an aesthetic difference because of the way Google Forms works. However, if you look over to the right, I still have the point value. 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4. And when this goes to Classroom, they'll see it this way, but you just need to tell them to ignore that this says that it's wrong and that this says that it's wrong. So this score is going to go back to Google Classroom in a second. But what's nice is, for those short answer questions, you can provide feedback if you click that option for manual review before you release it. So that's what the student would see. From the teacher's perspective, when I'm looking at this after I've released my scores, if I view my assignment, you'll notice that, and this is in the grading area, so if I view my assignment, it says up here in the upper right hand corner, import grades. If you haven't selected this option when you were creating the assignment, this will not show up there. But if you selected this, and I press import grades, that's going to import the score out of 10 from the Google Forms. And this will do it for all of them. So once you're finished grading, this is the last thing that you want to do. You press import grades, but you can do it multiple times. Press import grades and it will import all of the grades from your Google Forms into your Google Classroom so that you do not need to put them there manually. And I think that this is an effective way of adding short answer questions into a Google form and still being able to do evaluations that way. And I am also going to be making another tutorial soon on how to use some Google add-ons to make both cheating more difficult, but also making it easier for you to set up a real evaluation and adding time limits to it and stuff like that. But that'll come later. But if you guys have any questions about this, let me know and let me know how it works. But I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you for the next video.